Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. Hey, my loves. Gonna give everybody a second to come in. I feel like today is really my Starseed session, which is my private Patreon. And just as I was getting to come on for them, Spirit said no, that it needed to be public. And that as a whole, we need to have, what's good, Tawanza? We need to have a session. What's good, Miss Lotus Wisdom? Okay, so first things first, I realized last night, and then Spirit reminded me right now after they said I needed to come live. What's good? Entertain me. That today's a portal day. Not only is it the first new moon of the year, I think. Yes, it should be the first new moon of the year. Not only is it a Capricorn new moon, okay? I just saw something that's going to hurt my heart. So I'm going to try to get myself together for a second. It looks like somebody in my neighborhood passed away. And I will check on that as soon as I get off, because that will throw me completely off a center. Okay. So today is 1/18/2026. And 1 and 18 makes 10. And we already know that 26 is a 10 year. So 10/10. Let's start with that. Thank you. Right? So let's start with that 10/10 completion, double completion. Right? I hope that everybody is having their ears to the streets right now, because the streets is where you're going to get your info, and maybe some YouTube, little TikTok. But let's just say good info is hard to come by right now. And what's good, Rose? For those of you that never seen me before, I really mix mundane astrology with remote viewing, and I'm a master tarot reader, amongst other things. Now, I've been saying to y'all, and I said to you at the beginning of the year when it was the 1/1 portal, right, that I was going to try to come on all the portal days, because this is going to be a time for us to regroup our energy and try to use all energy for our highest good. I know that right now things are very aggressive. Things are very unstable. Now, I believe that, I had been saying, everybody pay attention to like trying to have your stuff together by the 23rd. And I believe that's the day that Venus is going into Aquarius. Let me see. No, actually, Venus entered Aquarius yesterday. Okay. But we're also entering Aquarius season then as well. Okay. So we got a lot of tension. Tomorrow is MLK Day. I said to my private group that there would be a lot of action or motion this weekend. And actually, we're going to see a lot of action moving forward, especially from now to the 26th. And then again around the 20th of February. We got a ways to go. I have been advising my group to very much have some basic things. This morning, I usually come on by this time. This morning, I was at the meat supplier getting, wholesale meat, right? Let's start with that. I need y'all to, really pay attention to making sure that you have adequate things. But it's important that it is 10:10 because it's signaling completion. And I was just about to say, when I looked down and saw the message, there's certain things that certain people ain't supposed to see. This morning, I was watching a scene from yesterday in one of the aforementioned cities that has been experiencing so much problems. And it really looked like it was somewhere else. I think that we all have to recognize that there's on a higher level. I think there are things that are happening that we're not seeing. Interagency things that we're not seeing. And I want to say to my Patreon group, I want y'all to really be focused energy wise, because it's very possible that one of these days we're going to wake up and there's going to be a situation and we all got to be able to hear each other, as I said to y'all Friday. Okay. I'm going to pull a card, but I want to really drive that home. The energy of love is more powerful than we give it credit for. Okay. So we're supposed to be doing star seeds. And Spirit said this is not the time to go about life as usual. That it's not. That it's the time to assist each other, uplift each other, and also protect the sanctity of your mind, body, and soul. Do things that bring you peace. The end of this month, people are going to be making decisions as to whether they should be taking certain parts of their finances and what they should be doing with them. You know, because it's the first of the month. Wake up, right? And this is not advice, but I feel like you need to look outside your fucking window and see what's happening in your neck of the woods and what's best and in the favor for you personally, if you understand what I'm saying. Because it's one thing for disagreements, and it's another thing to I like to stay on top of my stuff, right? But if certain things are enacted or certain situations pop off, you know, I don't know if those things are going to be high on the list of priority. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that you should, what's good, Shaquana? I'm not saying that you should neglect your obligations, but I'm saying that if a CW pops off, I don't think your credit card bill is so important. And who collecting it anyway? And if everything blows over and everything's all good, then, you know, we all fix what we got to fix. But I'm just saying priorities are going to be looking a little different is what I'm advising. Okay, let's get something from the star seeds. This is the star seed session. And normally what we do in star seeds is we look at the energy that's coming up for the week, and then we try to have, you know, either sound healing or some kind of Reiki session to balance out our frequency for the week, because that's this specific group, right? I have several different groups. But quite honestly, I think the collective needs to understand what's good, Mel. I think that the collective needs an understanding of the energy that is approaching, not just from a spiritual aspect, or not just from a tarot, or not just from a mundane astrology, but maybe a collective, right, of those aspects, and how we address that is what's happening, you know, what is happening around us. I don't want to say something before I pull any cards, and I think it's important. And I know I be a little long-winded sometimes, but understand that there's a group of people that feel a certain kind of way and they would like to respond in a certain kind of way. And there's other people who feel like, you know, and I've said this, okay? This is an election year, and if certain situations pop off, then they can avoid having elections. And so there's a group of people that's like, we need to hold ourselves together, because what they're trying to do is implement a way to not have that happen. But then there's like a third group of people that are in such disbelief, whether they're for or against, like they can't process what's really happening. And it's like being frozen, because if you accept it, then you have to change your mindset and move accordingly. You understand? So I just wanted to say that, because not everybody, some people, like they say, ignorance is bliss, right? And if you're not tuned in, I was just telling my man this morning, right? And it ain't nothing wrong with it. We all been young, right? But imagine being 18 right now, 19, 20 right now, where you got all these TikTok challenges, throw that wham in the circle, right? And all of that. You're not paying attention to the fact that they said they could have 3-day training, and then they could use particular type of weaponry, which if you should, for any reason, because I don't think that I have anybody in here that would be protesting, right? Not in that fashion anyway, right? But should you encounter anything being sprayed on you, please do not take a hot shower, because your pores will open up and your body will ingest whatever has been on you. Okay, you must take a fucking cold bath and get rid of the clothes. Please, if you remember anything, okay? Spirit be so on point. Look at the card that came out. It's called Lost Lands. Soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. And we have talked in length that people who are in this timeline are the best of the best, whichever side you were from. Because it's the final countdown, right? And there's something that needs to be put to bed for a new beginning. Age of Aquarius, right? You understand what I'm saying? And this has happened before, Spirit is saying. Lost civilizations, the falls of civilizations. They're showing me like Atlantis. They're showing me like Aztec. They're showing me Moors. They're showing me like okay, I just heard Yucatan. And I don't know where that is, but I know it's like in South America or Mexico. Okay, I am not sure. I'm not really good at geography, but that's what I heard. Something to do with the pyramids, activation, regeneration. Okay, let's read what the Lost Land says. Lost Lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. What did I just say? As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided, and perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think that lost lands exist in the past. Others believe that they exist today in a different dimension. I believe that ancient lands also exist in the soul of those who experience them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of the lost lands, such as Lumeria, Atlantis, Avalon, exist within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unlock the seeds of these ancient lands so we can all learn from the mistakes and usher in a new age. Starseed activation. I unlock any forgotten wisdom and soul gifts from lifetimes past. So this made me think of a couple things as I was reading this. First off, I saw a video this morning. A gentleman who lives in Colorado basically was saying around 7 something last night, they all got a notification that they were to shelter in place. They were not told why to shelter in place. Okay. So I feel like, and I keep saying this, and I'm going to try to say this in a way, that doesn't cause issues, right? But it's as if, right, we have an interior problem that's causing an exterior problem everywhere. And everybody wants to smoke because they're like, it's going too far, right? And so if that is the case, it's like we have choice A is handle the interior problem, which is going to be, not fun. Or choice B, don't handle the interior problem and somebody externally has to handle that. And then that also will not be fun. In addition to that, we have to recognize that in large part, this has to do with information that was supposed to be revealed that has yet to be revealed. And more than just that. For all of you who have not seen the show, The Watchers, with, what is that, Regina King, is that her name? I love her. Y'all need to watch that series. I think I want to rewatch it. Let's see what the challenge is for the week. Something to add to the list, Spirit says. I have heard that the best remedy, should you get sprayed with like things that are eye irritants, that the best thing is milk, not water. And being that there could be situations where we don't find that readily, everybody, whether you drink milk or not, because us melanated people be trying to avoid that milk. We be lactose intolerant, right? Get like 2 Parmalats, right? They're shelf stable. Right? They're shelf stable. And you might even want to keep one in your trunk. You never know when somebody needs to flush their eyes. Spirit. This is a test of the American broadcasting system. This is only a test. We've been saying that for some time. And I feel like sorry, let me just do this. This is going to keep asking me. Okay. Okay. So I feel like you got pathway, prisoner, great fortune, distant horizons, and child. Lovers, which is a choice. Underneath that, false person. Underneath that, main female. Underneath that, the house. It's my house and I live here, right? Privileged lady, unexpected income, high honor, sudden wealth. So this pathway and imprisonment, as I said, there's things that are happening in the back. And there would be a division that would happen. And when we see that, that's when we know that we're getting to the end of something, of a current situation. But when that occurs, the two sides of the aisle will be warring. Okay. I hope I'm because when they call certain people in uniforms, it's going to cause a division. So what you're seeing is the buildup to that division. And it appears that certain people have already sided with power. And there is other places, everybody's shooting their shot. Remember when I said that? Every place has to shoot their shot for their best interest, and that is currently happening. And we, the people, have a situation, and we're kind of like childlike. Now, this also stands for information that, right? Information about situations that they don't want coming out and what's been happening for decades. And somebody not being who they supposed to be. Okay. And so it's gonna ramp up. I want to see what Spirit says to us about how we should deal. Seven of coins. Four of sticks. Five of sticks crossed. Three of baskets in reverse. This is only a test for the American broadcasting system and the message that was sent. part of Colorado. So thank you, Spirit. And also the Verizon and those things. This is only a test of American broadcasting system as to how certain situations could be, information could be slowed. And if everybody's inside, and then we also have shit happening outside. On our own. Why did it end this way? This wasn't how it was supposed to be. All for this. And wanting to go back to this. Okay. People need to band together. Band together. Come together right now. Okay, free man. Somebody also has an exit plan because they don't trust that a situation could hold. Hold on. Seven of Pentacles, Spirit. Why? With the Nine of Cups. Okay, people, like I said, it's causing anxiety, fear. People are so unhappy. Okay, they don't feel like they have control of the situation, and people will feel even worse if they don't have their supplies together. This woman is trying to harvest. I saw a video. I was telling my man this morning, I saw a woman. She was young. She said that she had already lost her apartment. She was staying in a hotel. So she's staying in a hotel, and she said she's in Orlando. And she said basically that she has nobody around her. She's staying in a hotel, and the cubes, they all up in the hotels, and that she's very scared. And that to make matters worse, that her car, radiator overheats like every 6 or 7 miles. She don't have the money to fix the car. And she was basically crying in her car, like, I need to figure out how to get out of this place because, for those of you that don't know, Florida's open carry. And she was basically saying she was seeing all these vehicles here, there, and everywhere, and situations, meet me in the hood is going down, right? And she's her inner Mami Huata, her inner priestess, her inner, right? We be tapped in, right? So her inner self was telling her, and she said, I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Right? So that's happening, right? People are starting to, right? So she was basically saying she had a pot to piss in. She didn't have shit. And that's going to happen more and more. People start to paying attention. Okay, you got the 4 of Sticks with the devil, right? And the 10 of Wands. Situations making it very difficult. Look at these torch carriers in the back. Right? The Chariot, events are going to move fast. Okay? There are opposite agencies that are trying to figure out how to move within the rules to not aggravate situations and cause things to even escalate even more. 5 of sticks coming out crossed. Spirit, why? Because there are certain people who their purpose is the conflict, is the hate, is the disruption. And they have individuals who would like to help and assist carry this out. These are a group of individuals just going around doing things. And you got the 3 of baskets in reverse, Spirit, why? 3 of baskets in reverse with the page of swords and the 4 of swords. Okay, so for those of us that can, avoid situations, okay, because we already know that this can be anyone. It could be anyone. Our best bet is to not be outside when we don't need to be. And avoid, conflict. This woman here appears to be hiding. Okay, because there's some difficult choices. Those are like the blades that are facing her, and then she has a blade up here. Right? She's trying to avoid a situation. She would like to go to calmer waters. Okay? But every person is profitable. You don't realize how profitable you are. Because this nation has been, has built itself. On free labor. 9 of coins. We have to be careful because those of you that are in the group, I said to you that Spirit was saying there was 2 ways. There was one way that's like shorter, quicker, but it causes a hell of a disruption, right? And there's a longer way that is drawn out and extremely painful as well, right? So here's the 9 of Pentacles. I feel like either way, we end up being the 9 of Pentacles, but the 3 of Wands is here, future, and the Knight of Pentacles. We could be choosing the long way right now because it feels to us like there's no movement and like both the cat and the dog is getting shaken down. Do you see what I'm saying? Shaken and not stirred, right? 5 of Pentacles, right? Off with their heads, right? That's how we feel, right? You have the Son of Sticks here. What is this about? With the 9 of Wands. Every situation is going to need to be handled in a different way. There's no uniform way. And as I had been saying for over a year, that there were going to be things that happen in areas and areas and areas. And as you see, that is occurring. Rose showed me yesterday, she was rewatching something and she explained to me in the Alchemist video at 51 minutes. At 51 minutes, I predicted 2 things in one that happened in the first week of this year. So for the Alchemist, go back 51 minutes. in our last alchemist video. Okay, so these things are happening in areas and they need to be treated per area. Whereas one place may have a more aggressive stance, another place it might be more handled in different ways. Okay. I think we're alone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. Underground. Temperance crossed. What did I say to you roughly a fucking year ago? Where's the babies from the last one? Where's the babies from the last one? I also want to say somebody was saying that what is occurring now with certain papers not being released is really was being addressed in a Stanley Kubrick movie called Eyes Wide Shut or some shit. I concur with that, but I also would say that you could take that movie and you could take Squid Games and you could put them together and then you would be right on time. It's not one or the other. A lot of individuals, especially masculines, I feel like are fitting to get drunk as a skunk or do things because it's a lot to take in, especially if they feel powerless. Okay, you got the hangman. So some situations, they've already begun, but I feel like they become more prevalent. And then you have a rogue emperor and justice trying to regulate regulators. And it's heartbreaking because there are limitations and somebody takes some rulings and tries to distort them because they're trying to get time. Seven of Swords, time, 7 weeks, maybe, I don't know. That the Eight of Wands, powers converging on both ends. I want to say something. The average situation and the average person is not in alignment with this. What makes it unequal is that the few have the ear of the powerful. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Ten of Pentacles, intergenerational family. This is how we stay, right? You got the mothers here, right? That is the Queen of Cups, right? Spirit, can you show me what's this? Ten of Coins and the Moon. Secrets, money, Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Swords, Eight of Cups. So again, I feel like there's a situation coming where certain areas, may not all be simultaneously, is going to be inside and people are going to come together right now. And while that's happening, if the two sides are at conflict, that's somebody's opportunity to skate as fast as fucking possible and bounce out, leaving the people. The alternative of that is terrible. And there are individuals in power who understand that. And here's the Empress, who we'll say is the Republic. Okay, Passion and Hermit, things in the back, individuals on their own, Seven of Wands, trying to hold the line, but they don't have enough. And it's Ace of Swords, the truth is being revealed, the King of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, and these are masculines. Look how they're drinking, like I said, right? Because, you know, a system. Remember I said, you know, Aztecs, Atlantis, right? Right? The Lovers, a choice, death and transformation, and the Queen of Pentacles, Five of Wands. There's going to be locked up, it won't let me out, but that's a ways off, guys. And the Free Man and the Eight of Pentacles. Justice is there. That's the one I dropped. Okay. With the Six of Swords. I feel like a lot of big people. I'm back. I feel like there's a lot of people that are in situations expect. I wanna talk to you guys for a minute. Expect tomorrow, on the holiday of somebody that's very important to us, to many of us, of all creeds, expect some shenanigans. Okay? Expect. I feel like this entire week, okay? This entire week is something, okay? You're going to have the sun with Pluto, Venus in Aquarius. Mars will be coming soon. Yeah, I'm going to I need everybody to be safe. And I need y'all to get your supplies. Every time I come on, I'm going to remind you of that. Alchemists, we will meet this week. And yeah, I might have to give y'all something hardcore this week. Let's get a closing card with the, and listen, I do what Spirit tells me to do. Some of these might be public this week because Spirit wants me to look out for the collective energy so that people are not shocked, even though we don't speak about specific things here. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else? Thank you. Look how it came out. No doubt, trust in the divine. Yes, shit ain't funny right now, but we're going to overcome this adversity. Why? Gratitude at the bottom of the deck. When this shit finishes, there's a lot of change ahead, a lot of repairing relationships, and there'll be collective fucking regret. But this time, different from the 1860s, we have to have an honest conversation about bringing things into balance and about an original sin that was never made right. And that's how the fuck we got here now. So something has to be closed. It says, I release the need to know all the answers. Doubt. We don't need to have doubt. Okay. Trust. Right? I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. I just finished telling my alchemist group my soul tribe group Friday that when this happens, y'all gonna hear my voice, but it's not just me. It's our collective. It's just that I'm the only voice you guys know from the collective. So you'll hear it through me, but it's not just me. It's our collective vibration. Okay? And yes, there's going to be a lot of things, right? I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And this may be a fucking challenge right now. Shit's going to get scary. Okay? Adversity, right? I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. We have to go through this to come out on the other side. And then gratitude, right? I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents because we came here to see something through. Okay? To see something through. Right? I'm trying to get back to how it was. What was it? Gratitude was at the bottom of the deck about our relationships, about what needs to change, about what we need to be honest about. Okay, because we have regrets. We didn't handle this shit right. And we need to set it to rest. Okay? That's what I have today, guys. Listen. Get your groceries. Toilet paper. Don't forget your animal supplies. Okay? What else? One of us hit me up yesterday about an allergic reaction. Please do not forget to get a couple of boxes of Benadryl. Right? Because somebody could come into contact with anything, and once hives take a hold, it's hard. Right? So a couple boxes of that. Eat something good, listen to some good music, talk to a friend you love, do things that set you at ease. Okay? I'm wishing you all light and love and blessings on blessings. Love each and every one of yous. Hold on.